Elanie, of course, the big question, like I mentioned just now, is when is Minister Cele going to sort this out? And also, why is it taking so long?
Morning, Baron. Thanks for the opportunity. We've been asking that question for quite a while now. The DNA backlog is nothing new to the general public, and Minister Cele admitting that it's an issue at this late in the game is actually shocking, because the reason for the backlog lies in front of his door. The backlog started in June 2020 when he on 2 occasions didn't sign the contract for FDA, who was running the current PChem systems, which meant that that company actually had to shut down the systems that do forensic analysis. So since June 2020, this has been on the radar. Then the police, in conjunction with CETA, developed their own system to do the DNA sampling, which was only launched in April. But so the backlog started in June 2020, and it's just increasing every day, because this system that they've launched, which is their own, only has about 10 to 15% of the capacity of the previous system. Just to also give clarity on the cases, you referred to 240,000 samples, and Minister Cele is also referring to samples, when in fact we've got information that it's over 300,000 cases. So in any court case, there's anything between 1 to 12 pieces of DNA evidence that needs to be sampled and submitted for evidence in court. So if you work on an average of 4 samples, so that's pieces of evidence, and you're looking at about 300,000 cases, that's 1.2 million samples. So the minister is all talk and no action, and I mean, this is not the only thing that he's just talking about. You know, he just needs to start sorting out, but all he's doing now is talking about it, and that's what he's been doing since the beginning of this year.
It sounds to me like this is just another case of tardiness. I mean, you mentioned the signing of the contract with the FDA, and then what shocked me now, what you said is it's over 300,000 cases, and that's not just 240,000 samples, that 300 cases, and also GBV cases. I mean, that is also a big issue here in South Africa. Does that mean that these victims now have to wait so much longer for justice to be served?
Absolutely, absolutely. At this rate and at this stage, it's going to take 3 years to catch up on the backlog. So someone who has a case now will have to wait 3 years to get their day in court. That is, if they get their day in court. What's happening currently is perpetrators are actually walking free, because there's no DNA sampling for evidence available in the cases. So lawyers are getting perpetrators off with the fact that the state can't supply the evidence. Cases are being postponed. Rapists and murderers are going out on bail and walking free because there's no evidence to actually finalize this case. And I mean, we've only got about a 7.8% prosecution rate in GBV cases in South Africa. So you can imagine what massive impact this has on this pandemic that we're actually facing. So we just feel the police, the minister, the president, everyone is at fault here. They're complicit, and they're paying lip service to the citizens of South Africa and to victims of GBV and violent crime.
Elanie, unfortunately, that is all we have time for this morning. Thank you so much. I am, to be quite frank with you, disgusted about the situation. It's just ridiculous, and something needs to be done. Minister Cele, please, something needs to be done. Action Society spokesperson Elanie van der Walt.